Hey, welcome to Late Night Love. I am your host, Don Amici. And listen, for 2 hours, we're going to be talking about love and relationships, and we want you to join us, please. You can do that. There's a QR code that's going to pop up in the corner of the screen right there. Just zoom into the show. If you don't know how to use the phone, well, listen, go to YouTube. There's a link in the bio. Click it. Get in here. We want to take your phone calls, your Zoom calls. My successful host here, part of a popular morning show on 93.5 K-Day here in Los Angeles. Successful Brim, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
Big weekend this weekend. Crush Groove here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it was so cool.
I saw you guys a game. We had MC Magic was out at the show this weekend. Bone Thugs and Harmony. Who else was there?
Yeah, Baby Bash.
Paul Wall?
Mm-hmm.
Look at Paul Wall. I think Paul Wall lives here. I want to say Paul Wall lives here.
Maybe.
I remember Paul Wall when he was coming up, when the whole Swisher House movement was happening. I was out in Texas, and it was just interesting seeing the whole rise. I've seen the rise of a lot of these guys coming up, and so it's nice. So the show was amazing.
It was great. I had a great time.
I was interested to see, as you guys were rolling backstage, that Busy Bone gets his own dressing room compared to the rest of Bone Thugs and Harmony. I hope there's some love back there still, right?
I'm sure there is love, but it's 5 people, so it could get a little crowded.
I get it.
Yeah.
And then I looked at all the food in the dressing rooms. I was like, oh God, it looked amazing back there. So the show
was great.
The show was great.
We got the VIP treatment. It was nice.
All right, successful clinical forensic psychologist defending that dissertation for that PhD coming up very soon.
Yes.
And listen, you are all here offering your take, your psychology take on a lot of the stuff, a lot of the videos that we have tonight. As we scroll through social media, we're talking about relationships. We're playing a lot of videos that talk about relationships, love, and sex. And I'd love to hear your take. You picked a lot of videos for it tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your take on things too.
Yes. You know what? We got a lot of videos. I saw some of them, and a lot of interesting things to talk about. So listen, we want you to be a part of the show. QR code right there in the corner is going to stay up all throughout the show. Join us, because we'd love to talk to you and see what you have to say about relationships, love, and sex. So tonight we're going to be having 2 featured guests, author Jacinth Headlam, and also your morning co-host, Mr. Romeo from K-Day, who is an amazing guy. You guys talk about a lot about relationships on the show?
Yeah, we talk about a lot of different things. We have our segment, This or That, Yes or BS, where we talk about relationships.
Yes or BS? Mm-hmm. What is that?
You have to guess if the story is real or not.
I love that.
Today, one of the stories was about a woman who threw a baby shower for her son's girlfriend, and she found out it wasn't really a baby.
Wait, she threw a baby shower for her son's girlfriend and it wasn't a baby? What do you mean? Was it like a dog or something like that?
She faked the pregnancy, and she faked the death certificate for the baby and everything.
Please tell me that wasn't real.
That was, yes.
That was real?
A real story.
Why would she do that? Did she say why she did that?
I don't know, but for the son not to have been to not one ultrasound appointment, it sounds like she dodged a bullet.
Yeah, but I guess.
Because how would he not know?
Was he trying to break up with her or something? Like, a lot of times people do that when they want to keep the relationship going. So let me fake a pregnancy, and then now I got
I don't know. That could be what happened.
I got this big lie going on, so now I got to figure out how do I get out of the lie. And so let me fake the miscarriage or whatnot. And then the internet's so easy, I can just go to Fiverr and hey, I need some fake documents.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Crazy.
Oh, good. All right. So listen, be a part of the show. You can comment on things like that. So once again, you picked a lot of tonight's clips. And the first one is from the Giving Podcast, which features the outspoken Dr. Sarah Fontenot, I believe that's her name. Please, I'm sorry if I jacked up your name. Discussing women on OnlyFans. This is women on OnlyFans.
Can a woman ever recover from being an OF
never
model?
No.
What?
Absolutely not.
But she changed her life, Sarah.
I don't care.
She found God, Sarah.
Well, that's okay. Let me reiterate. Can she recover? Yes. Will she have the best options of high value, high earning masculine men? No.
But
it doesn't matter.
She's abstinent.
She sold her body on the internet.
She's abstinent
People
now.
People have seen her busted, spread wide open.
She
There's no way.
She dressed modestly now.
What is modest when you've seen it all?
She is a member of the PTA, Sarah.
I love that for her. Ladies, we have to do a better job of measuring the consequences of our actions in the now. Now, although femininity deeply lives in the now, we also have to be mindful of what's going to happen in our future. If you decide to be ran through, if you decide to have an OF, If you decide to do adult entertainment industry, you are disqualifying yourself from a certain type of man. You are disqualifying yourself from certain types of opportunities and experiences. Now, that being said, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want and you want to be a bad bee and you want to be out here living your best life, doing all bad all by yourself, do you, boo? But I promise you, in the future, you will look back and you will regret the decisions that you made. It is not worth it.
So I've always wondered these women, because we've got social media within the last, 15, 20 years that has popped up between Instagram,
Right.
MySpace, Facebook, Snapchat. And there is a trail of things that are going to be stuck to the internet forever.
Right.
And I always wonder, like 30, 40 years from now, what these people, I don't want to just relegate it to women, but men and women are going to think about themselves, or are they going to have any psychological trauma, 20, 30 years from now, or what their kids are going to be saying about them.
Right.
Where their OnlyFans content's going to be floating around, or their twerking videos going to be floating around. Because, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, there's some video hanging around.
Yeah.
But not a lot. And there might be pictures hanging around, but not a lot. But everything's being recorded, everything's captured, and everything's being preserved on the internet.
I just feel like today, because everything is so fast-paced right now, instant, with social media and things like that, they aren't really thinking about the future and what it could really, what damage it could cause, whether it's psychologically or financially or with any type of partnerships, jobs, or any relationships, because they're thinking about how can I live in the moment right now and take an opportunity and make the most of it.
Do you think having an OnlyFans is going to stop you from getting a high value man or a man in the future? Because I don't think that should require you. I think if a man loves you, I think regardless of what your past, as long as it's not too like, hey, I broke the Guinness Book of World Records of most most men in a lifetime. I think that might disqualify you. But if you had an OnlyFans career, I don't know if that's going to disqualify you. What do you think?
I don't think it will. I think men actually love that.
Do we?
Yeah. That's my opinion, but
What
I don't think
do you think we love about it? What do you think?
The
Exciting?
excitement, the nastiness, like the adventure. And then if she, decides to be a wife, now that's all yours. And you don't have to share that with anybody, but you're going to have some fun. So I just don't think that disqualifies you. I get what she's saying. I can understand how some men may be turned off by it, but I feel like she could still be a wife and get the man that she wants.
It's very interesting. There is women aren't a monolith. There is competing ideologies when it comes to some women. Some women right now feel that there is this freeing spirit of women taking their sexuality back, and there should be nothing wrong with starting an OnlyFans page, nothing wrong with twerking, and society shouldn't look down upon it. And I should be able to do that. You shouldn't think negatively of it, and I should still be able to go be the bride and have a man and have a family, and nobody should have two thoughts about it. But then there's also, like this woman here was pointing out too, that she seems to think negatively about it, and that women should hold themselves to higher standards. Like, what do you think, and how do your friends think about that?
I get what she's saying based on how there's contradictory when it goes for men and women. Like, women, we do have to hold ourselves at a higher standard in public because we are seen differently. Like, if you're not being ladylike or if you're not carrying yourself a certain way, you can get, like, the scarlet letter or whatever attached to you. A man, he can go out and have all these partners and talk to all these women, and he's that dude.
Men have a lot of partners? No. You know what's funny? There's more to this clip. She also talks about the double standard.
Ooh.
Got to play devil's advocate here.
I love devil's advocate.
So what about the men? Why is it that
It's a double standard.
Oh, why is it?
Yeah.
Like a man's confidence is defined by how many women he break down in his bed.
Why does the sun come up in the east and go down in the west?
Because God made it that way.
Why do the stars sparkle?
But that's God's
Why
law.
is the sky blue even though it's not blue? Why? I don't ask those questions. It is a double standard. We can't sit here and pretend like we are the same as men. We're not. We're not. We can't wash men off. Period. No, I need you to hear me. We cannot wash men off.
Mhm.
There will always be a remnants of the men that we've been with inside of our bodies.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people think that. So I've heard this thing that you're like exchanging soul ties, and
That's
so
a
like.
thing.
So I've got pieces of like women still attached to me.
Exchanging energy. Sex is more than just physical.
So,
Are you really perplexed?
I am. I'm kind of perplexed. To me, sex is kind of like an act, you know.
Really?
And I don't think
you never have like any emotional connection if you like have sex with somebody? Like
the emotional connection to me is with the relationship and the love that I have for you. The sex part is more so just kind of like an added bonus on top of the relationship.
Oh.
So my emotional connection to you, I love you, and that to me is more meaningful than the sex. When I was younger, though, like the sex meant more to me. And that was something that I associated with love.
Oh,
But I don't
okay.
associate love with sex. To me, it's just an act.
Oh,
It's just an act of procreation, an act of enjoyment, an act of connection.
Did that come after heartbreak?
It came out of an act of, what do you mean, like me associating sex with love?
No,
or
it's now it's
from-
just an act.
No, that came from me just growing and understanding that love to me is not an act of sex. It's an act of, like, love to me is me caring for you and you caring for me and us being together and bonding and emotional conversation
Okay.
and spiritual thing. Like,
Right.
that's love to me.
Okay.
The sex is just like a physical act on top of it.
So
like,
can you make love?
yeah, absolutely. You can make love.
Okay.
You know, yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you can make love.
Okay.
When all those things are working together, you know, it's a beautiful relationship. Now, do I want you to go out and have sex when we're in a relationship with somebody else? No, I think that's kind of dangerous, and it might be a little disrespectful unless we have an open relationship where we kind of set some ground rules and guidelines. But you know, if we haven't discussed that, I'm not going to go out and have sex with somebody else. I'm going to keep our relationship together.
Okay.
You know, but sex is not the end all be all.
So if it's just an act and you're talking to somebody, they can have sex with somebody else and say that they didn't have like maybe a physical connection and
If we define our relationship and say, hey, listen, you know what, we want to open the relationship up, or we want to bring people into the relationship, then I'm cool
you'd
with
be
that.
down with that?
I'd be down with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we have that open line of communication, that's what we're going to do, and we prepare ourselves for everything that comes with that.
Okay.
Because that takes a lot also. That's a mature attitude that we got to have together.
Okay. Would you do poly?
I don't know if I have enough money or energy to get down with the poly, but I would be open to a conversation about it.
Wow.
Listen, I can barely have enough energy for one woman as it is now, let alone having multiple women to tend to. But there is something intriguing about multiple women in a relationship and how that works. But I don't know if I have the means or the energy for it.
I never knew this about you.
Yeah, it's
interesting.
Listen, you cannot. Relationships are very sacred to me. You cannot get into a relationship and just not take care of it. You have to sit there and water it. And so, if you're going to get involved with more than one person and have this thing going on, you need to be able to take care of it,
Right.
and make sure that it grows and that it's watered well, and that everybody's being taken care of.
Okay. Well, when you start back dating, seems like you got it.
I don't know. When we come back, we'll meet actress and author Jacinth Headlam, to talk about recovery and addiction and betrayal and other matters. Love After. Wow, that is a heavy book. We're going to talk about that. You can join the show with the QR code by zooming in. More and that book and that author when we come forward when Late Night Love continues.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
Like, it's a spiritual moment.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Hey, welcome back to Late Night Love. I am your host, Don Amici, with Successful Brim with me tonight. You can join the show by clicking on the QR code. Just scan it with your phone. Join the show, call in. You can go to our YouTube channel. You can chat with us live at the Fox Soul YouTube channel. There's also a link where you can zoom into the show. And tonight, our live guest is actress, author Jacinth Headlam, whose book, Love After, talks about recovery from issues like addiction, betrayal, and abuse. Here's an excerpt from her documentary.
Me wanting to free the little girl inside of me, and also me wanting to free the 29-year-old woman inside of me who felt captive, who felt lost, who felt hurt, who felt betrayed. I had to give them freedom, and that was my job. That was my quest, to give both of them freedom and freeing myself in totality. And I knew in order for me to go to that level, I had to go through certain level of healing. I had to first heal. One of the hardest things that I had to learn to do was to forgive.
Wow, let's welcome Jacinth Headlam to the show. How are you, Jacinth?
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Wow. Before we talk about the recovery, tell us about your personal trauma and what led you to write this book.
You know, Love After, for me, I just wanted to write something that dedicated to people who have fallen, who had to find themselves, their voice and their identity after heartbreak, after setback, after trauma. It's more for rebirth. And for me, it was, Love After was just finding that love within myself before I can even dish it out anywhere else.
So, well, first of all, how did you have the courage to even want to write something like this? Because a lot of people will just hide the trauma and just deal with it on a personal level and just be quiet about it.
Right.
That was me initially. I always had that, how you have that little nudge in your spirit and, that you have to do something. And I just kept on getting confirmation all over, like I needed to write a book, but I just didn't know where to start, how to start. And I was ashamed. I'm very private. I don't want my business out on Jump Street, so I ran from it for almost a year. Wow. Until, when you have a nudge and a calling and a purpose to do something, it's very hard to really rest peacefully until you do it. If you know what I mean. Anyone who is very purpose driven, you can't shake that thing.
Right.
And I'm like, I just can't shake this thing, not knowing that Love After was going to be where my blessing came from. I had no intentions in ever writing a book. I'm not like the best, like a go-to book thumper where I'm reading books back to back. That's not me. So this book just came out of nowhere, but it ended up being my biggest breakthrough because Love After book opened up doors to, do it in film. And now I have my Love After film being distributed, and now I'm helping others write their book and tell their story through film and book writing as well. So I had no idea, but it's very important to have a yes.
It sounds like you got God pinging you in your head to get moving. Tell me about the story. I mean, I would love to hear about this.
Love After was birthed from a place of, when I was going through my divorce and lost everything, was broken, bankrupt, didn't have my kids, and just life was life and I hit rock bottom and just thought life wasn't worth living anymore. And I remember one day I was in the shower just bawling. Like that's when I have a lot of my sacred vulnerable moments, or either in my shower or in my car.
Right.
And I just remember on the bathroom floor just bathing and bawling. And it's just I heard this still voice saying there's love after these deaths. And I didn't know what that meant. I just kept hearing the word love after love after. And it was love, like there's love after this heartbreak, there's love after your setback, there's love after your disappointment and your traumas. And, love after taught me the power of forgiveness. I did not know that there was certain trauma that was lying dormant from childhood that I never really healed from. And this Love After book really took me on a journey of healing and how to really forgive those who offended me and how to really give myself a fresh start and release myself, free myself.
Did you
yeah, go
attend?
ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Did you attend therapy for you to find this revelation for yourself?
I did eventually. Sought out therapy and just having someone to talk to, and how to make sense of things that don't make sense. Because when you're going through your hurt, we tend to isolate and we think that no one in this world understands what we're going through. No amount of prayer is going to transform this thing. And that's what I did. I isolated and I just kept to myself because I just felt like, what's the point? No one would really understand.
Was that the therapy? Was that what gave you the permission to forgive?
The therapy, but I'd be lying if I didn't say my faith, my belief, my God, like just prayer. Prayer and fasting is what really, really gave me that fresh start. And then the therapist kind of helped me to take care of it on a more grounding level.
Mm-hmm.
How to make sense of the thoughts, how to, position my emotions and make sense of past and why certain behaviors still happen. So it gave me more of a realistic scientific approach to certain things and behavior. Yeah.
Your book mentions cheating, abuse, and betrayal. Like, how did you find yourself in a relationship like that?
Young and dumb. I was with my ex-husband when I was 19.
Okay.
Got married at 21. We were both wet behind the ears, still sucking on our pacifiers.
Yeah.
And nothing against it. That's the cards that life dealt me. But what I would say to my siblings and even young adults is take the time to really date around and get to know yourself. Get to know who you are, whose you are, what do you even like, and that doesn't, you don't really I didn't start figuring out what I like until I hit my 30s.
Yeah.
So I would definitely tell people in like your teens and in your 20s, please don't rush to get in a serious relationship. It's not worth it.
I always tell people like marriage should be like not until you get 30 because you really don't really understand who you are until you are in your 20s. Or at least close to 30s.
You don't know nothing about love. You don't even know what love is and how to sacrifice and how to really be selfless and how to really serve your partner. You don't know any of these things. You just puppy loving.
Are you dating now?
I'm out there. I did a online dating profile thing. I'm trying to think.
Okay.
I don't know if it's necessarily for me, but I feel like this is the new way of life, is a new norm. No one even go out anymore like they used to.
Yeah, it is. It's very
before you're hoping to run into somebody in the aisle 5 of Trader Joe's. Now everybody's like this, and no one wants to talk to each other.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, let me put myself out there. Let me cast my net wider, and just gotta be discerning and really vet, extra hard, because people make up stories and they make up personas and create this life that they don't even have.
Digging into digging into your book though, what does it say about healing?
You said, what does it say about healing?
Healing yourself. What does it say about healing yourself?
Absolutely, is really taking the time to really sit with self and go back to any pain points that you have overlooked, that have lied dormant, because I always say that your pain is connected to your purpose. The very thing that tried to break you and take you out is the very thing that's where your breakthrough lies. So when I discovered, like, okay, the pain that I was hiding or covering up or just running away from, that I didn't want to face head on, those very same pain points were my breakthrough. Had I not write this book and take the time to heal and get my life in order and get to know who I was and my voice and my own identity, I wouldn't have had this love after movement.
Was this
You know?
pain the ex-husband, or was this the childhood trauma, or was it both?
Both. I think when I started to write my book was when a lot of stuff started to reveal to me. I was going through this phase where for some reason, I always woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning
Mm-hmm.
with like just downloading, So, and that's when it came to me like, hey, you still have childhood traumas that you haven't healed from, like my molestation at 8. And stuff like that I kind of grew numb to, and I
Yeah.
put it in the back of my head to the point where you're like, you kind of low key forget about it, and you just grew numb to it.
Is
And
there
those was a lot of stuff that I had to face head on.
is there anything about yourself that you learned through your process about yourself that maybe was shocking to you that you didn't know?
That's a good question.
Anything that I learned in terms of like the healing process?
Or learning about yourself or your likes, your dislikes, or what you need to move forward?
Yeah, I had to really deal with like my abandonment issues because I grew up with my grandmother in my early childhood. So not having my mom and dad around like that, I didn't really get to really spend quality time with them until I got to the US as a teenager. So I know that was something that I had to really deal with. Also, not attracting healthy relationship because my mom, I grew up when I came to the US, she was in an abusive relationship with my stepfather that was in and out of jail. So I saw her get abused right in front of my face. So I grew this anger towards men that even raised their voice at me. I'm checking it on the spot. Like I don't anything that came with any kind of aggression, I check out. Like,
No.
So I was a runner, like any kind of aggression I just didn't like because I didn't want to feel like I was falling in my mother's footstep.
Yeah.
So that's something that I was like, okay, the little girl in me have to forgive my stepfather.
Yeah.
Because,
Oh, wow.
I don't want other men paying for the price and doing the time for somebody else's crime that, my stepfather did.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I did learn about myself is really taking that time to heal and shake those residue off of me.
We're talking with actress and author Jacinth Headlam, whose book Love After talks about recovery and issues like addiction, betrayal, and abuse. We got to break real quick, but one last thing. You talk about the bad association with Christmas. Can you explain that?
For a while, I did not like Christmas. I have a love-hate relationship with Christmas because I remember when I went through my divorce and I did not see my kids on holidays. And having that rotation, that thing took me out. And I did not like Christmas. I did not like holidays. So yeah, that's I think I was talking to one of your producers earlier about that. So that's one thing that I also had to heal from. And it's just crazy because my film Love After is a holiday film. So that was my healing process into embracing the holidays again.
That's nice. You
But
attacked it.
yeah, I mean, the holiday wasn't jingles and butterflies and rainbows and Santa Claus it's not always like that for everyone. There's some people who are isolated and alone and going through
Yeah.
depression and going through it during the
Yeah.
holidays.
Where's your family
And
from?
that's the part that a lot of people don't see.
Yeah.
Huh?
Where's your family from?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Wagwan. Wagwan.
Wagwan,
Wagwan.
youth. They don't know
Wow.
the late night love.
There we go. Where can they get the book if they want to get the book? And we're going to talk a little bit later on about the movie. But if they wanted to get the book, where can they get it?
Absolutely. Amazon, Love After. If you type in my name, it will come up because I think there was another book with the same title. Also, theloveafter.com. When you go to theloveafter.com, it takes you to the Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, or if you want to get it directly from me. So yeah.
Well, listen, I'm proud of you. I love to hear the story. I can't wait to see the movie. And you keep the recovery going. You keep the inspiration going. And I love this. I love this for a lot of people out there because a lot of times we like to share stories of trauma. But we don't necessarily see the recovery and
talking about the healing process.
And the healing process.
Healing process can be ugly.
Yeah,
Listen.
but also the other side and coming through and being a better person and moving
Right.
forward in life. And that's something that needs to be highlighted also. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you. Thank
Wow.
you for having me.
All right, author, actress Jacinth Headlam, thank you so much for being with us. We have more when Late Night Love continues. A special guest coming to us that works with you from 93.5 K-Day. Mr. Romeo is going to be with us
on your
next.
radio.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up.
You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. My name is Don Amici with the Successful Brim by my side. And you can join the show by clicking Zoom or just scanning the QR code in the corner of the screen or clicking on the link on our YouTube page, Fox Soul. And you can chat with us throughout the show.
Right.
We're scanning through social media videos talking about relationships and love. And we have a clip to get to. Our next clip, you pulled this from poster Chris Q. Perry.
Uh-oh, yes.
About giving respect.
Yes, let's get to it.
Disrespecting her but expecting her to respect you is crazy. A woman doesn't just become distant, emotional, or difficult for no reason. Most of the time, it's a response to how she's being treated. You keep saying her reactions are too much, but are you asking yourself why she's reacting that way? If all you're giving her is disrespect, neglect, and acting like you don't care, then no, she's not the problem. You can't point out her flaws while ignoring your own. You can't call her toxic just because she's tired of being hurt. She's not asking for perfection. She just wants to feel seen, valued, and respected. Maybe the issue isn't her reactions. Maybe it's your refusal to take accountability.
So if this is going on in your relationship, you know, the first thing you need to do is look in the mirror and take and maybe listen more and take accountability for your actions. Like if this is happening, you're triggering reactions from your partner?
Yeah, I think this can go both ways, you know, male and female.
Yeah.
You have to look within in order to be your best self. We all have to do self-work. You know, what he was talking about in particular is when women, you know, shut down if the man isn't, you know, giving her the respect that she needs. But again, a man can feel that way too. That's why communication is super important.
I've been in a relationship where a woman has kind of shut down. When a woman shuts down, that's kind of like the end of the relationship. They're tired of talking. They've kind of like reached their end, and they're kind of like looking to either jump ship or they've got a plan to where
find a way out.
Listen, I was in a relationship with a woman who like she was like, all right, I'm gonna roll with this until
So
my
did
daughter
you know
gets
that was coming? Like, because she was quiet. So did you know, or you was like oblivious and you learned over time?
We were breaking up for about 6 months, and I looked back at the relationship, and I think what she did was she just bit her time, and because her daughter lived with us, and so I think she just kind of just tried to work on a relationship with us, and just bit her time until her daughter got out of school, and then you know, she was like, I think we had one fight, and I think that was the nail, and she was like, I'm out.
Hey.
I'm out, and that was hard for me to deal with, to come home to an empty house.
Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you.
No, but it was one of the greatest things for me because although that breakup was very hard and losing her and her daughter was very hard, that breakup taught me to sit by myself and be comfortable with myself and not go rushing into another relationship. And I started a 10-year work of doing therapy. So it was a lot of good came out of it.
That's the healing part that she was just talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, I lost a great woman and a great relationship. But she did work too. You know, we're friends now. We talk, you know, but it was hard. All right, listen, from 93.5 K-Day in Los Angeles, your co-host from the very successful morning show, my man Romeo. What's going on, Romeo?
Hey, Romeo.
Night love over there.
Romeo, fresh off a Crush Groove, I was seeing all the videos this past weekend. I heard it was a great show.
We're all matching.
Yeah, we coordinated.
Yeah, we're twins.
Me and Don know what we're doing.
Absolutely. So, me and Romeo, I wanted to talk to you as a fellow battered host. Does she bully you like she bullies me on this show?
Look, I try to get to sleep early because I know what I'm going to have to deal with in the morning when it comes to her.
Really, Romeo?
I thought it was just me.
No, you are not alone.
Okay. It's nice to know. It's nice to know I'm not the only one.
It's definitely going down in the morning.
Yeah, so in the morning, she tells me you guys talk about a lot. You guys have a lot of scenarios that you play along with the audience and talk about different relationship scenarios. You recently had one where I guess somebody's significant other slept with their boyfriend or something like that.
Oh, the sister.
Yeah.
The sister
she got
slept.
upset
The sister slept with the boyfriend.
I guess, the sister took the sister's ex-boyfriend and they got together. So the sister said, "No, I'm gonna go ahead and sleep with him." So we're gonna even the score up in here.
Wow. So how is it? Do you get a lot of relationship questions from the audience at K-Day? And is there anything specific that pops up?
We do. We have this segment called This or That. And when we have relationship situations on there, it really resonates. People are commenting, people are giving their feedback because we all go through it. And sometimes we just don't want to talk about it. But when there's an opportunity where we can kind of maybe bring our story in on someone else's problem, we'll take advantage of that because it allows them to vent and kind of get it off their chest, so to speak.
What's the one thing that pops up? Is it cheating? Is it disrespect? I wonder what people are dealing with.
For me, I think most of the time it's cheating. And that's something we all kind of dealt with in our lives. Men may not want to admit to it. We've all been through it. I've hurt women. I've been hurt. I've had women put on R. Kelly when the woman's fed up and played it over and over and over. I said, "Oh, this is not good for me." You know what I mean? So, I mean, honestly, I really feel like when it comes to the cheating part and just maturing in a relationship, it definitely resonates.
Do they ever get to what the root of the cheating is? Is it just that temptation is too much out there, or is it just young and stupid?
I'll be honest, I was young and stupid. I mean, at some point, we all got to grow up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I grew up with a single mom, so I seen her in a couple of relationships, and I didn't like what I saw. And I thought as a young person, I would learn from that, but I still kind of end up being like my dad. So I had to go through it. And it took me to get hurt to realize at some point, you got to grow up and you got to show up for this relationship.
Well,
and that's what it's about.
How did you get the name Romeo, though? Sounds like the ladies really love you.
Wow.
Well, we're talking about it.
Wow, you're just going to put them on blast street. Okay.
For real, though. First of all, I didn't give myself that name. Someone else gave it to me. They say, "You think you're a ladies' man. Why don't you call yourself
Why you can't
Romeo?"
like Shakespeare? Huh?
There you go.
Why you can't like Shakespeare?
Yeah, that part.
I didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if she does, it can't be Romeo Must Die. Don't give me that.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, so we were talking about cheating. There is a very interesting thing where you kind of get heartbroken, and you also have to remember that there's always somebody on the opposite side of who you're cheating on with, and that you are hurting their feelings. And then you also, I always say God loves to put a mirror up to your face sometimes, and then somebody cheats on you, and you're like, oh, this is what heartbreak feels like, and this is how it hurts. And this is just, and you don't ever want to feel that, and then you don't want to inflict that pain on somebody else at the end of the day too. So it's just, it's good that we all mature, but men do mature slower than women. I do want to say that.
Yeah.
But y'all sneaky too. Y'all cheat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Y'all. We just never catch y'all cheating.
No,
but
they're
y'all
great
cheat.
at it. They're good at it. That's the problem. We never know.
I don't have too much to say on this. I'm married,
Wow.
but I'm pretty sure it does happen out there,
You never cheated?
No.
Okay. You see how she said that?
No, I know people that have.
Okay.
And I know people that have been through the situation and they've gotten through it as a couple because they've done the work. Like they've gone to therapy. They did what it takes in order to regain trust within their relationship with their partner. Why are you looking at me like that?
No. Listen, I think you went in the psychology field to help people, and I think that's why you're in it. So I absolutely believe you.
Yes, you can recover from cheating.
Yeah. Romeo, do you think people can recover from a cheating spouse?
I believe it's a long road, but if you put the time in and dedicate yourself to it, I feel like you really can. I mean, sometimes you feel like it's a lost cause. Where can we go from here? But understand, if you've caused that drama and caused that pain, then you got to take the steps and go through whatever you may. It's going to be some dark days for you. You might sleep on the couch for a while, but you got to suck it up and do what you got to do if you want it.
Yeah, we had a video on a couple of days ago, and I said there's a cheating tax that you're going to have to pay, but if he or he is going to accept you back, then you pay the tax and you do the work. What's the one thing that you're going to have to do to put the work in to get your spouse back?
Well, you got to rebuild that trust. So how do you do that, right? There's different ways of doing that. Like, it's not like, hey, I'm going to the store. I just left the gym. It's not being like you, a kid reporting to a parent. It's how you present it and how you go about doing that. And that's what makes it better. You have to make that significant other feel comfortable, even when you're not around. Feel comfortable when you're at work or when you're out of town. Do they feel safe? Yeah. Do they feel like you're doing the right thing?
And then you got to, I guess, really just show change in yourself, because that's really going to show that you're changing the relationship. All right. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 93.5 K-Day in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he just gave the Romeo answer because all the ladies love him. Got it.
Well, listen, you can challenge him tomorrow on the radio, online, 93.5 K-Day. Thank you, Romeo, for checking in with us.
Bye,
I appreciate y'all, man.
All right,
great show. Keep doing what you do.
All right, we got more Late Night Love when we come forward.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. My name is Don Amici with Successful Brim. You can join the show by scanning the QR code in the corner. Go to YouTube, all right, and hit the Fox Soul YouTube channel. There's a link there you can click on. You can also join the chat, and we'll get that throughout the show.
Yes.
Earlier tonight, we had an author and actress, Jacinth Headlam, on, who talked about her recovery from her personal experience and her trauma in her book, Love After. That book will be featured after our show on the Listening Lounge here on Fox Soul.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see Romeo was looking all right after all the beating up you do to him in the mornings on K-Day.
Romeo just wanted to appease you. We actually have a great vibe, and we do well working together.
No,
I keep it lit in the morning.
I listen to the show. You guys have amazing chemistry on the air, and I saw you guys on stage at Crush Group. So you guys are having fun. I saw you guys on stage at Crush Group. I saw you guys walking backstage
How
and
you
doing the
see
whole thing.
this? Stalker much?
Wow.
Well, I'm just saying, how did you see all that?
Off of your Instagram and his Instagram. Excuse me for trying to support. See, this is what happens.
Okay, you're right.
You
I was
try to
doing
support
good.
somebody.
I'm going back. I was doing good. Oh, thank you so much, Don.
Wow. All right. So Jacinth Headlam, her book is also being turned into a movie. We have the director of the movie on Zoom or audio. Let's see if we can get to him now. Antoine, are you there?
How you doing, guys?
Hi, Antoine. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Congratulations on your amazing show.
Hey, there we go. We got you.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you meet Jacinth and take on this project?
So I'm big on mentoring people around me. So Jacinth is someone I've been mentoring for a while. She's been an actress doing an amazing job. But I always tell people around me that be more than what people expect you to be. A lot of actors out here wait for someone to keep waiting for directors. I said, build your own table. The food tastes better. So we did a co-production. We put our money and resources up, and we did the film. She had a great book. I decided to make it a holiday film, so it could be more pleased to everybody.
Yeah.
And now we rocking and rolling. It's a great movie. I can't wait to everybody see it.
So how close is the movie to the book? Because it seems like a tough subject to make for television. A lot of recovery, addiction, a lot of tough subjects to cover, and then we got a holiday film going on here. So
so what I did was we wanted to get this on a network. So I told her, yes, pull it back a little bit. Yes, add a holiday flavor to it, because if we would have stuck with a drama feature, it would have been a little bit hard. And then we would have had to spend more money to get a lot of the names. So I wanted her to star in the film. So I said, yes, put the holiday twist on it. Just add some names in it. And we got Love After Holiday and be released later this year around Christmas time.
Wow, I love that.
Was it hard for her to act in this film? I mean, being so close to the material because it is her life and kind of reliving a lot of this stuff as it's being acted out on screen?
I think for this one, no, 'cause she had an amazing friend and an amazing director. And I just told her trust the process. But a lot of times we hoarded our trauma and pain and we don't release it. So we just got back from Jamaica, where she's from, 2 months ago. And we had like a nice private premiere for it. And I told her, see what happened? When you take your pain and turn it to purpose. A lot of times, even with the stuff I went through in my life, I took my pain and turned it to purpose. And we made a great film.
Wow.
So did you guys decide that it would be best if she played the role herself, or did you think about having someone else?
So originally we were shopping around, with networks, they want a big name. So I said, nah, this is your story. We decided you be the star of the film. And we just get stars around you. And it worked out. So a lot of times I tell people, the industry going to tell you one thing, but if you know who you are and know your purpose, you could turn that upside your head.
Yeah, she says she's been having this thing kind of just hitting her in the head, just saying, hey, let's kind of get this out, nudging her to kind of get this out and finally get it out in the book. And then look what happens when you, I guess, are living in your purpose right now to share your story of getting a message out about addiction, about abuse, about recovery and triumph, I guess you could say at the end of overcoming or working through a lot of the trauma, and and kind of making it forward. And look how everything is just moving forward and being blessed with a movie, a book, and it seems like a new life moving forward.
Yeah, I tell a lot of times, the storm is not forever. If you could get past the storm, the other side is beautiful.
Do you think she, we were talking to her about dating, do you think that she will be ever able to find love again?
Yeah, if you find the right person. Like me, I'm married.
Oh, nice.
But a lot of times what happens is we settle for less.
Right.
So I've been that situation before when I settle for less. But once I see, I got to treat this like a job. If I'm a CEO of my life, you got to come with a great resume, a great degree for the job. A lot of times we got people coming in with just potential, the bare minimum, the entry level. And that's when we fall in love with potential. I learned that when you do that, you settle for less and you put your heart in jeopardy. I say this all the times, treat your heart like an airplane. Before you go on an airplane, what's the first thing they tell you to do? They're doing TSA, you got to check your bags, we got to do background checks because people would take advantage of your heart.
How long have you been married?
Yeah.
So 7 years, been with my wife for 10 years. And I'm happy that I took the time and did the work on myself, especially as men. It's best to do the work on yourself. So whoever you decide to be with, they get the best version of you.
Wow. Well, so we've been talking to a lot of people about dating, and they always say that it's trash out here. You've been married for 7 years. So even through all of that, you think she's still going to be able to find love?
Yeah, if you find the right person. But the way it is that you got to find the right person that did the work on themselves and that's mentally on your level.
Okay.
A lot of times we don't want to say this, but if I'm bringing this to the table and you just bring a potential, it's not going to work out. Because sometimes that's all it is, a potential. So I think a lot of times when we go through the trash market, because we were around trash, you gotta when you do the work on yourself and you really do the work on yourself, you'd be like, nah, you're not ready yet. And you find people out there, and a lot of times people might feel like it's lonely, but you're gonna be lonely if you were trash.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm definitely with you.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, thank you for joining us. Where can we check out the movie and see the movie? I know the book's going to be on the listening lounge here on Fox Soul right after Late Night Love is off the air. Where can we check out the movie and see the movie?
So the movie will be out later this year around the holidays on BET Plus.
Okay.
So we make a big announcement, have a private premiere. Definitely invite you guys to come out. And yeah, look forward to seeing everybody later this year.
Oh, nice.
All
That's
right.
huge.
Listen,
Congratulations.
Well, much success on the movie and the book and everything. And I wish both of you much success because it seems like a project that is worthwhile and it's a long time coming.
Yeah, a lot of people can relate to it.
Yes, and congratulations to you guys, man. Your show is really great and it's giving y'all in a market that no one's doing. So congratulations.
All right, thank you, sir. You have a good one, okay? You
too, have a good one.
All right. Wow. All right. Listening Lounge, you can check out the book right after the show, and then the movie's going to be out, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's get to clip number 5. Here's a take from poster Relatable Relation Tips about fighting for your man.
Ooh.
I'm willing to go to war behind my husband. And no, I'm not talking about fighting over him with other women. I'm talking about going to war with myself to keep my husband. I'm talking about going to war with my bad habits, with my trauma, with negativity, with overthinking, with anything standing in the way of my healing, with laziness, with complacency, with selfishness, with anxiety, and anything else that could stand in the way of us having a happy, healthy, God-fearing, and God-centered marriage.
I just want to say protect this woman at all costs because women like her are like unicorns, like yourself, successful.
I feel like a lot of women may feel this way.
I don't.
Because you just said we're more mature, so this is a mature take. You do have to make sure that you introspect in order to make sure that you can be the person you need to be for your spouse.
I don't hear that a lot from a lot of women, though. But I'm glad that I'm starting to see it more, though.
Oh, okay.
You know, but I don't know. All right, listen, more of Late Night Love when we come forward.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties!
Why is it bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College, first round draft pick during the football season, I would stop eating. but I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. My name is Don Amici with Successful Brim. You can join the show by just scanning the QR code in the corner or heading over to our YouTube channel, Fox Soul TV, and clicking the link in the bio, or you join in the chat throughout the show. We got a Zoom call. Darius?
Yeah.
How are you doing, Darius?
Hi.
I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. What's your question tonight?
Well, can we introduce Darius real quick? So Darius is a therapist, and he's a part of my nonprofit, the Minority Psychology Network.
Oh.
Yes.
Everybody's a therapist in the psychology. I love this.
Oh,
it's like the new
healing.
It's the new wave.
Okay.
The new wave is psychology.
I mean, it's very much needed. We went super underserved and underrepresented within the space for so long. So I think we're all coming into the space at a good time.
Absolutely.
Where a lot of us are actually needed, especially for our community to be able to. I normally use the analogy like you don't have to go see the stereotypical therapist of what everybody thinks a therapist is, or some white lady with glasses, a cardigan, and a notepad. Like you get to see somebody that looks like you to actually help you process through what you're going through. So I think we're all coming in at the right time to be able to help process what we got going on, from political stuff to community stuff to personal stuff. So everything is aligning perfectly.
Now, Darius, as a therapist, are you running into a lot of people who are having anxiety, given the climate? I would say the political climate, the economic climate, just the social climate. I mean, it seems like everybody's kind of on edge, but it seems everybody's on edge, but they're managing, but they're still kind of like on edge.
I think people have been on edge for a long time. It's just within the last 5 years we've been able to put language to it.
Yeah.
I normally help people reframe it. Like everything isn't anxiety, because a lot of people hear it on social media and they say anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. It's like, are you suffering from anxiousness or anxiety? And then I'll explain the difference between the two. And sometimes it's just an emotion of anxiousness. And then when you process it, you actually feel more settled. Whereas anxiety is a little bit more difficult to manage. And it's not just in one specific area. It kind of transitions over multiple areas. So sometimes reframing it in that way of like anxiousness or anxiety helps people manage it better, as opposed to thinking that it's something that's way more bigger than I am, as opposed to any emotion that I feel that I can manage if I just give it some attention.
What are you coming across that people are experiencing right now, anxiety or anxiousness?
I think more people are suffering from anxiousness, more so around identity. They're trying to figure out who they are because they've been performing for so long. They've been playing a character that was given to them from birth, or given to them by their culture, or given to them by their religion, or just in general. And they're tired of reading, or society, and they're tired of reading the script. And now it's like, since I don't have a script to read from anymore, what am I supposed to say? So a lot of it is finding their identity and helping them feel more empowered to create their own script as opposed to read from someone else's.
What happened to the script? Did they just run out of dialogue, or did they come to some type of awareness of like, this is not working for me?
Sticking with the analogy, I say people get tired of being typecast.
Gotcha.
So they put themselves inside of a box that was given to them, and I don't want to fit in this box anymore, or this box no longer suits me, or I don't even know why I have this box to begin with. Why do I keep getting typecast in the same character, having the same experiences, having the same dialogue, having the same vernacular, when I can decide to do something different?
Well, Darius, as a Black male therapist, are you dating, by the way?
Am I dating? Yes.
Okay.
You know the answer to that. You know me personally.
Okay, so he's poly. I didn't know if you wanted me to put that out there. And we were just talking about that. So do you find yourself being in poly relationships? Does that like take a toll on, your mental health, being the male in that situation?
It's definitely a struggle in general when you're dealing with another person. Whether it's one person or multiple people, you mentioned earlier, as far as having an open relationship, like any type of interaction that you have with another individual is going to take work, it's going to take effort, it's going to have its moments where it's draining, it's going to have its moments where it's recharging and fulfilling. So I won't say it's just me as the man. I say me as an individual, co-creating spaces with another individual is going to have its ups and downs. And sometimes I'm going to be the person to help recharge my partner or partners or the people that I'm getting to know. And sometimes I'm going to be drained by it. And it's just a matter of how we collaborate together.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds exciting. The idea has always sounded exciting to me, but at this point in time in my life, I'm like, I don't know if I can have space to entertain more than one partner, or even one at this point in time. Just I'm finding myself enjoying sitting at peace with myself, and being okay with that. And if something comes along and shows me something, or not that they have to, but if something that comes along and kind of just gives me a chance to experience something greater than my peace or enhances my peace, I'm absolutely would love to see that or experience that.
How many of it? I'm sorry, I need to know this. How many of it is you guys in the group? Like
currently, no, it's just me currently.
Oh, okay. So it's just you right now.
You all up in this man's business.
Well, the people want to know. It's interesting.
She's poking for answers that she already.
Interesting. I'm just asking what the people
are you looking to expand your relationship here?
I'm good.
A sister wife?
No, thank you. I'm already spoken for. But, people are interested in this. This is what's happening today. People are talking about it now. People are more open about it.
I will say there is a level of openness to everything. And like you were talking about finding the script for your life, is this where like we're getting people like even trying to identify their gender at this point in time of like, you know what, I was born into this body of that I really feel feminine, but I've got this male body, or I'm a female, but then I feel masculine at times. And so they're kind of redefining the roles of gender at this point in time,
I think a lot of that, we're right now, because we're starting to understand that we don't have to read from the same script, that we're also confused at times, because it's like, well, this sounds good, let me go over here. This sounds good, let me go over here. And it takes time. As you mentioned, like you like sitting in peace with yourself. Right, which is necessary. That's a necessary part of the process to become a beneficial partner to someone or another group of people, is how do I understand myself so I know what I'm bringing to the lives of those that I interact with. And sometimes it takes people the opportunities and abilities and situations to go from situation to identity or whatever else they want to call it and mess up or try to see if it works. See if this fails over here, or if I do want to stay with this identity or this description of myself or this expression, how can I do it better? Because I tried it this time and it didn't necessarily work out, and I have to do a reevaluation of self to see why it didn't work out. But I'm normally going to talk to people about you're always going to come back to yourself, because that's the greatest gift that you're giving to another person is yourself. So if I don't understand my gift, if I don't understand myself, how can I connect to somebody else?
So everybody's exploring. So we're just explore yourself and figure out who you are at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
You talk about the role that people are tired of being typecast in the Black community. What role are people being typecast as?
I think it kind of depends on where they see themselves. So like I do a group. Successful knows I do a group with previously incarcerated youth, and a lot of them may come from communities where they were typecast as I got a gangbang to survive, which is not the truth for every Black person. But for them in their community, that's the role that they think that they were assigned, and it takes a process for them to understand that they don't have to stick with that role. And I think a lot of us, given whatever community, whatever family that we come from, we're given a particular role and we think that that's where we have to stay. I don't think Black is a monolith, so there's not one particular story that we're typecast into. It's just a matter of, does this story identify with me? So some people, it may be I come from a privileged household, or I come from an underserved community, or I have to be an athlete, or I have to be a scholar, or because I'm a foreigner, I have to do this, or because my parents are immigrants, I'm supposed to do that. Like, there's so many different variations of stories that people can be thrust into. But at some point, you got to sit with yourself and say, does this match with me, or am I taking what somebody else assigned to me?
I'm extremely dumbfounded that you said that they feel that they have to fit into the gangbanging lifestyle. And this is just coming out of juvenile facilities. Is this indoctrination happening inside of the juvenile facilities? And are the juvenile facilities doing anything to combat this? Or is this something that you have to catch on the outside?
I think a lot of it may start with family, because some of them may have family members that were gang members or gang affiliated, or they live in certain neighborhoods and they think to survive or to protect myself or to protect my family or whatever the case is, this is what I have to do. I have to adopt this identity in order to survive, which is not necessarily true. When it comes to whether they're in foster care or they're previously incarcerated for whatever reasons, there's certain lifestyles and laws that take place in these environments, spoken and unspoken. And in order to survive in those environments, they end up adopting certain identities and narratives. Essentially, at least in this moment, I'll say a lot of things that we end up adopting are based out of acceptance and survival. How can I keep from being shamed? So in order to not be shamed by a certain environment, I adopt this narrative for survival. And it may be social survival, and sometimes it may be actual physical survival.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Darius, do you also work with couples?
I work with everybody.
Okay.
Anybody with a post.
Anything trending right now amongst the couples?
Amongst the couples,
is social media a thing?
For some people, social media is an issue. I say trust and communication are the main issues that people come across in their relationships that kind of cause some friction. And I think that's mostly because people don't have the conversations that they think they're having. They're talking at each other with an expectation in their mind, as opposed to engaging in conversation with each other to actually identify what it is the relationship is presenting.
Wow.
So,
wow, this is mind blown on this one.
Yeah.
I'm dumbfounded about it, but I don't even know what to say. We definitely got to have you back because I would like to have a longer conversation with you. Where can they find you online if they want to reach out to you, if you help heal the world?
So you can find me on Instagram, King Carter, KIINGCARTER. On my Instagram, I have a link that takes you to all my different therapy pages. It takes you to different profiles that I'm under or the different companies that I work with. It also got free resources to ebooks, so read a book, edify yourself.
All right.
But that's where you can find me on social media, and I'm pretty good about answering pretty much anybody that reaches out to me. I'm pretty good with engaging people. I'm not sure that I like to be the therapist you can actually touch. So.
Well, it took the producer a while to get in contact with you.
Listen.
That's because I was at the gym. You know that I'll be in the gym after class.
Right, that makes sense.
He needs
Thank you so much,
He
Darius.
needs his energy up to deal with you. Oh, my goodness. Darius Carter, thank you so much. I appreciate you for joining the show. More Late Night Love when we come forward.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. My name is Don Amici with Successful Brim. Darius Carter, wow, what an amazing guy.
Yeah,
a therapist
he's
we just
great.
talked to. Living that poly life. You never thought about the poly life?
No, but I mean, I feel like that's something you should probably look into because right now, you're not really dating anybody, so you can probably build you a squad.
Or you can successful Brim, successful Tim.
What?
I
don't even know what that means.
All right. Okay.
What?
Get you a squad over there. I mean, I still don't think you got a husband, but it's the invisible man.
Oh my gosh.
All right, listen, we're taking your calls. We're talking to a lot of people, and we're playing a lot of clips that we find on social media. We'll tell you in a second how you can send your videos to us. This next clip pulled from a guy asking a lot of questions. This is DJ Yo-Yo, and this was supposed to have really happened. So check this out.
And I'm 10 grandbabies of mine. I don't do it no, take a village. I know, right? I have something to tell you. From the very first day I laid eyes on you, I knew you was the one for me. I knew you was my soulmate. I feel like God specially made you for me. They say sometimes you gotta wait your turn, and it's my turn. But my turn not gonna end. I'm a winner and I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna win you. I want this forever. I want you forever. So I have one question.
The question?
Gregory King, will you marry me?
I'm in love with my baby mother, yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm in love with my baby mother. I don't know what you got going on here, but
is this a joke?
It's not a joke.
What's she doing here?
I don't know. This is some kind of setup or something. Like I don't.
What is she doing here? I invited her here. I told you this shit wasn't gonna work anyway. You look like a fool.
Yeah, I don't know how real that was, but I do want to say a couple of things. Number one, it is very cringe for a woman to propose to a man. Now we're in a new season of life where women feel they can do anything. I just as a man, I don't feel that a woman should be proposing to a man. I understand that some women feel that they want to do it. I just feel that a man's job should always be to propose to a woman.
So if the woman that you're dating and in love with proposes to you,
it feels cringy.
What would you do?
I would tell her to, number one, get up off your knees.
In public?
In public. I wouldn't make a spectacle out of it because I would never want to embarrass her, but I would gently motion for her to get up. If I loved her, I would take the ring, but I would try to put it on her hand and be like, will you marry me?
So you wouldn't say no.
Well, no. I mean, if I loved her, I would marry her. Absolutely.
Well, then it's okay then.
Yeah, but it's weird. It's weird. It's a weird dynamic to be involved in.
So how would you tell the story to your friends? Like, she proposed and I said yes.
I don't know if I don't even know if I want to tell.
You would change the story?
Even that makes me comfortable of like, I don't even know. That's kind of like, let's honestly talk right here. Saying that story to my friends or telling that story to anybody makes me feel embarrassed.
Really?
It brings up feelings of, I wasn't good enough to go out propose. Or it also robs me of the opportunity to propose.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of feelings that come up with that situation. Why did she have to do it?
Right.
There's societal pressure that comes on. And
That's true.
It's just a weird feeling to be in because maybe it came out of nowhere.
Right.
And it may have been an honest feeling on the woman's part of she was just so much in love that I need to lock you down before anybody else.
So that would
it may be something so innocent as that, but it just as societal norms.
Right.
It's just so ingrained in going back thousands of years that it's a man's job to propose.
I get that.
That it would make me feel very weird, and just looking at it is very cringe.
So would you not want to continue the relationship?
It's not that cringe.
Oh, okay.
It's just the whole. It's like being in an uncomfortable situation at the moment.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And so I would probably try to be like, hey, I'll marry you, but I'm going to propose to you. We're going to redo this, and we're going to do it properly.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go buy you a ring, and I'm going to propose to you. Or we'll propose to each other, or we'll do something to where this story is not going to be you are on your knees
Right.
giving me a ring. You
That's
can
a
be
nice
on your
compromise.
knees, but not giving me a ring.
Oh, what could you be on your knees doing?
Hey, if you want to send us a video, we have a very good email address you can send us to, latenightlove@foxsoul.tv. That's latenightlove@foxsoul.tv. You can send us your video. Make sure they're brief and make sure they're clean. Because we scroll through social media, we talk about relationships, we talk about love, we talk about a little bit of sex here, as we have psychologists on, therapists on, and we try to solve the world's problems. We got a caller on Zoom. Is it Anthony or Anthony? The Anthony?
Anthony.
Let's see.
First things first.
Yes.
There is no invisible man, and you need to put some respect on my name and my wife's name.
Wait. Who is this? I'm sorry. Hold
Watch your mouth.
on.
Watch your mouth and watch the things that come out of your mouth.
This ain't.
So
Wait,
what I'm doing now is checking you first before I ask you questions.
Well, okay. Well, hold on. Let me say hello.
Acknowledge. You need to watch what you say.
Who is this?
The world.
What? Oh, okay.
Acknowledge it. Just
Acknowledge
say yes,
acknowledge
say yes,
what?
And then let's continue.
Well, hold on. I can barely hear you. I can barely hear you.
Real?
Well, then you need to learn how to hear me.
I need to learn how to. Okay. Well, can I first start with your name? Is it Anthony or D'Anthony?
My name is Anthony. Let's start with your name.
My name is Don.
Don?
Yes. Nice to meet you, Anthony.
Nice to meet you. Next time, watch your damn mouth.
Okay.
Now, let's continue. Okay?
All right.
Is this real?
Everybody hears you. Everybody hears me.
Is this real?
If my wife says she's married.
I think, no.
Is this somebody playing to be your husband?
I think because you keep saying he's imaginary. Oh my God.
That's somebody joking to be your
crazy.
That's funny. That's not your husband? That's hilarious.
Wow. So you keep playing. You're giving people an open door. That's crazy.
Well, see, look, even your imaginary husband called in today. Okay, that wasn't your husband. Okay.
No.
Would your husband say something like this to me?
Not at all.
I imagine your husband is a very nice guy. I imagine him at home, beaten and bruised by the attitude that you constantly give him.
Wow, that is crazy.
Hilarious. Anyway, let's get back. Let's get back to the show. That is funny.
I should have never said his name on here. Now people know.
He's becoming famous on the show.
Crazy.
All right, listen, but one more time. Just send your videos to us, latenightlove@foxsoul.tv. Let's keep the show going as we move things on. We're on clip 7 here. Here's another awkward discussion from poster Black Love Inc.
I tell you, we had a moment. We were driving, and she was like, "Ugh," and I was like, "What's going on, babe?" And she was like, I just want someone else on me. And I was like,
it had been.
I'm driving. I'm like,
he was like, what?
Wait, excuse me? I was like, what do you mean you just want somebody else on? And look, she was in her own world. She was just like,
just staring out the window. And it didn't mean exactly that. What I meant was we had been in a relationship for
a long time.
Probably 10 years by then.
No, it was like 7 years.
7-year itch, you know what they say. And I had missed, you miss when you get married, that moment that you guys meet for the first time and he walks you to your door and you're like, oh, is this going to be a thing? Is it not going to be? The butterflies, all those things when you're dating people, the spontaneity, all those little things. And I had just gotten to a point where I was like, oh, I'm never going to have a first kiss again with someone. I'm never going to get that, anxious feeling again when you're first dating someone and you don't know where it's going. And it was more like a realization of all of that stuff. And I was like, oh God, I'm going to have to let that go. Like those butterfly feelings. And you have butterflies when you're married for a long time, but it's just,
they're different butterflies.
It's different.
They're not real butterflies. They're
like moths. They're like moths.
They don't, they don't got pretty colors no more. They just beige.
Ones that flutter towards the light.
They just beige. Maybe got a hole in the wing.
So what she's longing for is nostalgia. There's the attention of guys hitting on you, and I don't know what that feels like as far as being a woman and men walking up to you, and because men hit on women way more than women hit on men. Yes, don't look surprised. Please do. All right.
Yeah.
But what would be interesting for this couple to do, and I guarantee you, she's got it good with this man that she's with. They've been together for 10 years, married for 7, is for him to give her permission to go out on a date. Go on a date and then see, and just so she can see what's out there.
Right.
Because I guarantee you, when she comes back from that date and she sees what's out in these streets, she will be like, I am never longing for nostalgia again because these streets are trash. Because that's all we've been hearing for the past, 3 weeks that we've been on the air, is that there's really nothing out there in these streets and that you really have to do a lot of hard work to really find a connection. So she's just, reminiscing about being single and the good things that come up. She doesn't remember all the bad stuff and all the frogs that she had to go through to get to her wonderful husband of 10 years, and they've been married for 7. So, but I get it, nostalgia.
Well, yeah, like she said, that 7-year itch. So I hear that really is a thing. So if they both agree to it and it's something that they want to do, I think they should do it.
Well, I don't know. I think he's content. He's like, look, I got what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? But I also understand that. I mean, and then maybe this might be an opportunity for both of them to kind of look inside their relationship and say, you know what, how can I make you feel more special in this moment right now? Of maybe we can do a little role playing, or maybe I can take you out on a date, or maybe we need to spice up our relationship so that I can put some butterflies back in your stomach.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know. It might be a good place to do. Let's keep this thing going. This is your last clip of the night, Successful. This is from I'm Not Your Average Gymnast, about what he calls sweating your woman.
Ooh.
Sweating your woman.
Cheat code. You gotta sweat your woman sometimes. You gotta sweat your woman sometimes. I don't mean that it has to be excessive. And some of you may look at it like, I ain't never sweating no woman. I'm not talking about just sweating any woman. I'm talking about sweating your woman. Call her out the blue while she at work. Hey, I know you working, but why does so much time have to go past and I don't get to hear your voice? Tell that boss you need to call your man, because I need to hear from you. FaceTime her out the blue sometimes while she's sitting at home like, hey, what you doing? I want to see your face. Make me have to wait that long to see how good you look again. You feel me? Sweat her sometimes.
Sweat her sometimes.
Yes. I absolutely love that.
I'm not a fan of sweating your woman, but
okay,
I understand women's psychology, and I think you have to do it.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, I feel like in general, each person wants to feel wanted.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm a fan of like not playing games, but I think that you cannot not play the game that you're in.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, you have to play these games. I'm not a big fan of them, but I got to keep my foot on your neck.
But is it a game, really?
Yes.
I don't see it as a game.
One big game.
I see it as in you showing interest.
I show interest every single day.
So you get real comfortable fast.
I don't get comfortable.
Okay.
Every day is a holiday. Every day is your birthday. Every day is I love you day.
Aw.
But I understand women though, and so at least I understand women more than I used to understand them. I'm not the. I haven't read the whole book on women, but I understand that you gotta you gotta sweat them. Ooh. Otherwise, somebody else will start sweating them, and then they'll be like, "Oh, this guy Henry at my job."
Not Henry.
Henry came by talking about I ain't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Somebody else will start sweating your woman, and so you gotta pop up unexpected. You gotta be unexpected when it comes to doing things, or being in your wife or girlfriend or fiance's life.
And I say because of social media, it really does go both ways though, because everybody feels like they have more options. It's like a dating site.
Well, feeling like you have more options and having options are two totally different things.
Right, but it makes them act a certain way because they feel that they have this option.
What about just being in love? Like your man, your man loves
that
you.
Would
and
be nice.
What do you mean that would be nice? Why can't that just be the norm? Why do I gotta sweat you?
That's not how we live today.
Why do I gotta call you like I ain't seen you in 5 hours? Where you at?
Because somebody just slid in the DM 2 seconds ago.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I guess I don't want to understand it. But you know what? It is what it is. So I'll just roll with it like that. All right. More late night love when we come forward.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
Like it's a spiritual moment.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin? Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text to emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's put a ride home.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Go by and we'll right there on chatting and on the you sure husband that call
my people listen got to say pretend to be my husband. I'm good over here. Thank you.
That was funny.
That
you
was
called
not
your
my
husband.
husband.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure that was your husband.
Wow.
That was funny. We got a poll from the Pew Research poll that we can get to. Let's see what it says. Relationship posts on social media, according to Pew Research, 33% feel worse about their dating life, 62% feel no difference, and 4% feel better about their dating life. 33% feel worse about their dating life.
Wow.
62% feel no difference. Wow. Interesting. And everybody posts online. I don't know. I think they're lying about that one. Or maybe somebody, I don't know. I would think, I don't know. I have a feeling that a lot of people are like looking at other people's lives on social media and feeling bad about their own. They're like, why isn't my relationship like this? Why aren't we doing this? And I tell people, I was like, everybody's lying.
Oh, yeah.
So many people are in the Bahamas on social media, but at home.
That's so true.
You know, or they're doing X, Y, and Z, and they're just I know so many comedians that have golfed with President Barack Obama.
Wow. But yeah, you never really know what's real on social media. Like, you cannot look at other people's lives and compare yourself and compare your life. No, you don't know.
No, you can't. You can't do that. You literally, and this just goes for anything, even before social media. I remember when I was younger, I used to try to compare my career with other people's success, other people who were successful, and I was like, I want my career to be like them or greater than them, and then I had to stop. Because you never know how that person got to where they were, and on top of that, that's not necessarily your path.
Your story, you
got your own journey of how you make it, and that's you never know what they did, and so you just be you at the end of the day.
That's so true. That's the only thing. You can really just look at yourself as your own competition, not anybody else, because then you put yourself in predicaments to actually slow yourself down.
That's it. All right, let's get back to these clips. Our next clip takes on the old age question, call or text?
Yo, so you want to know the one thing that will actually let you know if a man actually likes you? The one thing that will let you know if a man is actually interested in you? Look, we're getting back to the basics on this one, people. You want to know what that one thing is? He will actually call you. I know, it's so revelatory. Oh, God, it just blew your mind. But for real, if a man likes you, he's going to call you. if a man is interested in you, he's going to want to talk to you. He's going to call you. Not these guys who are sending text messages all day. Look, if a guy's sending you text messages all day, that's an indicator that you aren't really worth his time. You are convenient for him. Like, he hits you when he can. He doesn't have to be responsive. He doesn't have to initiate very thought-provoking conversations. So he just texts you whenever he can. But a guy who would take out the time to call you and have a conversation with you, that guy really likes you. He's really interested in you. So don't be deceived by these guys who say that they like you, but they never call you. If they say that they like you and they never call you, I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, but they don't like you. At least they don't like you that much.
You know, the worst thing they did was give people access to podcast sets.
Well, at least he didn't have the music behind his.
I love talking on the phone.
Right.
But I have to have the energy to talk to you.
Really?
And it's not nothing about you per se. It's just I have to have the energy to talk to you.
Oh.
It's more about like I have to have the energy to talk to you.
I really thought you was more of a person who would like to call.
No, I do.
Oh, okay.
I like to call. Sometimes it's easy to text. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't feel like talking to anybody. Like my job is talking.
Talking all day. Got it.
It's talking all day, whether it's this, whether it's the radio, whether it's voiceover work. And sometimes I'm just tired of talking. And so it's kind of hard to explain that to people. And so I have to be in the right mindset and energy to have a phone conversation with you, because that phone conversation will go on for hours.
Oh, right.
And I don't mind that. And I like that because I love talking. It's what I do for a living, and I love poking and prodding and getting to know the other person on the other end.
Why?
I just have to have the energy for it. It's a lot of energy. It's very energy consuming holding a conversation with someone. Have you ever talked to someone who just can't really talk?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's like pulling teeth.
It is. I think it's better if you call and you set a date. If you call and be like, hey, how's your day going? What are you doing this day? Let's go out. Let's meet here. You know, I think maybe that's maybe a different component that he was talking about. Of course, we don't have to sit on the phone and have conversations, but call me instead of sending me a text saying, hey, you want to go out Friday? Give me a call and say, hey, do you want to go out Friday?
No, I mean, what does that say? WYD?
WYD? What you doing?
WYD. I mean, I don't know, but we're in such a different day and era now. Sometimes when you call people, they kind of feel offended by it. You know, like I'm from the old school where we had a phone in the house with a 27-mile cord that you can go down the block with, and into your neighbor's house and be on the phone. And we used to be on the phone all day long. You know, so that's the era that I grew up in.
But you know what? If it's somebody that you like, maybe you won't be so annoyed by your.
I'm not annoyed. I just have to. I work a lot, so I just have to have the energy. And it's not that I don't like it. It's just I just have to. I'm tired a lot.
Right.
I'm getting old.
You seem a little triggered right now.
Well, no, I just need my Metamucil and some Ensure. You know, I need time. I mean, do you prefer texting before you got married and when you were on this massive dating spree?
Right. Massive. Okay.
Trying to find the one. Did you like it when guys texted you or called you?
No, I think calling is way better than
or even when like Anthony, like how did that work?
Calling is way better.
Oh, so you were. So did it start off with the texting and then, or
I don't think texting ever is for me. Even with my friends, like I think if you're having a real conversation with anybody, texting can be misconstrued. It
so can.
Yeah, it doesn't seem personal. So I like for somebody to call me so we can have conversation, or I'll call. Like I think calling is better.
I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they sent me a message. I was like, what the heck are they trying to say here? And I say, hey, I'm going to call you. I still haven't called them back.
Exactly. Okay.
You know, how often do you talk to your husband? Every day?
Yes,
or do you text?
Of course, we talk.
On the phone every day?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
It's important that you talk. Like, I think texting to me, it's meaningless. Only if, like, you have to get something out. We're busy. We got something going on. But if we need to have a conversation, we need to talk.
But what about, like, your friends, though? Like,
my friends?
Yeah, the pretty privileged crew. Or is it...
We text and call. Like, we have conversations.
Okay. All right. And I'm just. It's a new world out there.
I don't just text.
Because some people, they get offended when you call them, or they don't want to answer the phone anymore.
You know, people that are in your close circle. Like, if we don't talk and you just call me out of nowhere, it's a little strange.
See,
No,
that's what I'm talking about.
If we don't talk and you just calling me, especially the FaceTimes, and that's weird.
Well, I would call people just to check up on you. If like people who are friends of mine, but let's say some space has happened, I would just call them just to, hey, just checking on you, man. I ain't heard from you in a while. I don't want nothing. I'm just seeing how you doing. And I would do that like maybe once every 6 to 9 months if I haven't heard from them. And I would do that over the period of years just to kind of stay in touch with people. And like, I don't want nothing. I'm just checking on you, just seeing how you doing.
Wow, so you're that person who calls out of nowhere, like on not even holidays, just out of nowhere.
Well, if I value the friendship and I haven't heard from you from a long time,
that's nice though.
I want to call and I want to say, hey, are you? Because you never know what people are going through.
That's true. You do want to check on your friends.
You might be, getting ready to walk off a cliff, and here I am calling you, check on you, and saving your day.
That's true.
All right, I'm a good guy.
You are a great guy.
Thank you.
There we go.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right, listen, you can be a good guy too by sending us your videos. I'll give you that email address so you can send us your videos. It is Late Night Love at foxsoul.tv. That's Late Night Love at foxsoul.tv. You can make them right off your iPhone, send it to us, or you can pick them off social media and send them to us, and send us your favorites. Make sure they're clean. Late Night Love at foxsoul.tv, because that's what we do through the whole night between 9 and 11 Pacific Standard Time. We talk about relationships, love, and sex, and we use a lot of social media videos as conversation starters here. And, we also talk to you about what you're going through in your relationships. And, we just try to spark the conversation and try to fix the world one social media video at a time. You can get in on the show by scanning the QR code in the corner of the screen there. Also go to the Fox Soul YouTube page, and there is a chat function there that you can chat live during the show. Also, there's a link there you can click to zoom into the show. Don't prank me, all right? All right.
Don't prank me either.
Right, yeah. All right, she's big and bad. She can stand up for herself. But that was funny, whoever you were, trying to be her husband on here. I joke with her a lot. But Successful is amazing. You're going to be defending your dissertation here coming up very soon.
Yes.
To become Dr. Successful here.
Yes.
And when is that going to happen?
Next month.
Scared?
Excited? I'm scared and excited.
So you've written the dissertation already, right?
Right. Well, right now I'm in an editing phase. I'm almost done, so I'm waiting to get the date. So what I do is it's a presentation in front of the board, and my committee members make
the university board, or like the license board here in California?
Well, at my university.
Okay.
So I choose committee members, my chair, my reader, my statistician, and I present my research to them. And after presenting my research, they approve me, and I earn my
on the spot, or like it's like a
yeah,
it's a
on
process?
The spot. They'll tell me to, leave out the Zoom room or the actual room, whichever one they do, and I come back and they'll say, you passed, Dr. Successful.
Now, let me ask you a question. Because you tend to beautify yourself in your everyday life, do we tone it down? How do we dress for this whole situation? Are we doing the lip gloss? Are we doing more of a?
It's definitely gonna
like a
be
pantsuit, or like are you looking like an attorney? Like how? I want to know how you go about doing this.
I'm gonna be myself. And I think that's what's important. That's why I built my organization, because you want to talk to somebody that looks like you.
Okay.
So a woman that looks like me wants to talk to a clinical psychologist that looks like me. Looks like her.
Are you nervous? I mean, this is big. How many people are going to be in the room?
I think it'll be 3 people.
3?
I'm nervous thinking about it, but when it happens, I'm not nervous. I just want to get it done.
So dissertation's written. You're just editing it right now. How many pages is it?
Oh, my gosh. Maybe like 70 pages.
70? So you wrote 70 pages. How long did it take you to do that?
3 years.
Oh, my
4
God.
years.
So,
all my life.
So wow. Well, I mean, this is what you go to school for. I mean, this is everything to what you go to school for, and it's all on the line.
Right.
So, what are you gonna do with that Dr. Successful? Are we gonna have a parade and something like that?
Oh yes, we're definitely gonna have a parade. We're gonna have a celebration. I'm thinking about Docs on the Dock, where I invite all my doctor friends.
I like that.
Yeah.
Your mom's going to be extremely happy about that, right?
Yes, definitely.
And your husband's going to be happy about that.
Yes,
That's going to be, and then we're going to be, I guess that's it, right? We're going to be off into the clinical forensic psychology world. We're going to be working in courtrooms. We're going to be working with a nonprofit. We're going to be doing
the radio, TV. I'm doing it all. You don't have to have one career.
Okay, well, excuse me. All right, more of Late Night Love when we come forward.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. My name is Don Amici with The Successful Brim. You can join the show. Just scan the QR code right there in the corner. Or go to our YouTube page. Click the link. You can get into the show that way. Or you can chat with us live throughout the show. Going through your social media videos here. Let's see what we got. One from B. Simone in her podcast, Jazzy B. Podden. A clip from therapist Lori Gottlieb about chemistry.
Oh.
So many times people will say, you know, they went on a first date with somebody and they're like, yeah, no, I had a really good time, but there was no chemistry. And I said, well, having the really good time might mean that there's potential for chemistry.
Yes.
But what they do is because they're on the apps and they say, oh, well, there's like 10,000 other people that I can date. And they just keep recycling and recycling and recycling, and they don't give something time or space to grow. And chemistry sometimes happens right away, and other times it takes time to grow. So there are these surveys that were done where men and women were followed for 20 years from the moment that they went on a first date through marriages, divorces, you know, all these things. And what happened was a lot of people have revised their stories depending on what happened later. So the people who are happily married, let's say, a lot of them said, you know, well, tell us about the first date. When they're telling it now, they say, oh, yeah, there was instant chemistry. But what they reported at the time was, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll go on a second date. I don't know. There's not a lot here. But it built. And so their story became there was instant chemistry, right? Now, the people who were divorced, sometimes they would say, oh, I knew I never liked this person from the beginning. And yet at the time they reported, oh, my God, we had this amazing chemistry, right? So it's not very reliable that first time is what I'm trying to say.
Chemistry. Hope is, I'm a sucker for hope, but then hope has gotten me into trouble in a lot of places.
Oh.
and so sometimes, like, I'm a believer that you got to leave space for things to kind of grow.
Right.
And so sometimes I will give things a chance. I will give a lot of things a chance that may not be appealing to me at first, just because you never know what may happen from it.
Yeah, Yeah, I think a lot of people may do that too, especially hearing the term opposites attract, because they may think, well, this is something that I'm not used to.
Right.
So maybe it'll grow on me after a while. So that could happen.
And then sometimes you're like, yeah, it grew on me like a wart.
Right. That's a possibility.
But then, I've also tried to pull this into my own life, into the things that I've never thought about doing, to go force myself to go try new experiences, to do it, because there are things I've done that I never thought I would like that I ended up enjoying. And I'm like, okay, well, if I had this experience with this that I never thought I would like, let me try to just reproduce this thing in other areas of my life. So dating is a thing to where I'm like, you may not be you may not be visually what I'm looking for. You may not be personality-wise what I'm looking for, but I'll go on a few dates with you to see if there is a spark there, to see who you are as a person, to see if there is something that opens up. Because you're more than just one night.
Right.
Or one day or one moment in time. And maybe there's more to you that I may get a chance to get to know. But sometimes that gets you in trouble.
Definitely. And I had no idea. So looks don't really matter that much to you? Like, where's looks on the scale for you?
I mean, I want to be attracted to you, but I'm attracted to personality.
Okay.
So it's weird. I'm attracted to who you are as a person, and so that it kind of extends beyond the physicalness. Because you could be beautiful, but then you start opening your mouth and start talking, and then you start turning me off right away.
That's true.
And so you may not be, I don't know what some would say, visually appealing, but then you are hilarious. You're like, we have this chemistry, and that right there makes you visually appealing to me.
Right.
There's something about that some energy that I start digging and vibing that really makes you attractive to me. And so, I'm looking for that level of attraction, and sometimes you may not get it visually. And then also, being visually beautiful, I think anybody could be that. I think people just haven't found their beauty in regards to, their look, their style.
Oh, so the whole "you're not ugly, you just broke" thing.
I don't want to sound mean and say that, but I think that some people haven't. Some women I've known are to take natural to makeup and styling and hair care, and they love it. They know how to do it. Some women, they weren't raised with that, either around that or they weren't nurtured in that, and so they don't know how to do that. And so they may not have that touch of how to dress themselves up. So
yeah, and I mean, that goes for men too.
Absolutely.
Some are playing with a beard. Should I have a beard? Should I not? Should I grow my hair out? What kind of style of clothes do I wear? So, that goes for...
It's amazing when you look at barbers. I don't know if you ever see barbers, which everybody's pushing out content now, but barbers, when they take a guy who looks homeless.
Oh, I've seen that.
And then they'll either put one of those units on top of them, and then they shape them up. Totally different individual.
Right, exactly.
I mean, they shave so many years off. The guy looks handsome. It's like, wow. So you just never know what a hairstyle or some makeup or a fresh do or whatever can do aesthetically to somebody.
That is so true.
That's why I give people time to kind of grow on me or see if there's anything to grow on me.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's go over to the next clip that we have here from the Express Yourself Black Man podcast, some questions he asked on a date.
If you ask a certain number of questions, you can really quickly be able to tell where a woman's mindset is at. Right. You really only need maybe 3 to 5 questions. What are you trying to do in life? Where are you trying to go? Depending on her answer right then and there, you could probably chop it right then and there. If you can't give me 3 to 5 year plan, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Why am I even... We can't build. You don't know how to build for yourself, so we can't build. You can't build with me if you can't, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't got something that you could build for yourself, right? So right then and there, what are you doing with your life? What do you want out of a partner? That right there, we don't even ask that. Now that you tell me what you want, I can be able to determine, I can make a Venn diagram in my head. I can see what I have, what you said you want, and what we have in common. If what we have in common isn't more than what I just have or what you know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. I'm not even going to keep going. A third question is, are you healing? Are you looking to heal? Are you in therapy? Are you focusing on your mental health? What does that process look like for you, right? Because the 2 answers before could be great. It could be, oh yeah, I got this 5-year plan and I'm looking for this in a man. And you're like, oh yeah, everything's cool. But underneath all that, there's no foundation for y'all to have real conversations about stuff. Y'all having issues when it comes to conflict resolution, all these different things, because healing hasn't occurred and y'all are not in the healing process. So once you start asking those 3 questions, it's like, okay, I can't build with you.
Some people should have been plumbers because he's lost me at Venn diagram. And like the first 2 questions, what kind of expectations are you putting on an individual? The last one, you're a psychologist, in the psychology field, I should say, and like that was the only appropriate question you should be asking a person on a date. Are you healing? I mean, that's a great conversation starter.
That is a great conversation starter because people deal with a lot, maybe relationships in the past, childhood trauma, like we were just discussing, and all that bleeds into your relationships.
I don't know. Is it too much, though, like to ask somebody, are you healing? Is it too forward to go
do you believe in going to therapy? Are you in therapy? Have you had a therapist? I think that's important to ask.
But are Gen Z daters open to discussing that right now? Like, is that too forward to ask if I go on a date with a Gen Zer?
No.
Hey, are you in therapy?
I think that's a great question. I don't think it's too forward because a lot of people are talking about therapy right now and healing and, meditating and growing within yourself. So, yeah, I think so.
Okay. What about the Venn diagram? Do I need to put one of those together and figure out what's a Venn diagram? Maybe let's start there. Can you help me with that?
I mean, that's what that like pyramid thing of all the, so maybe that works for him.
Sometimes you're so smart, you're stupid. Listen, I'm with like having plans for the future. And there is a point in time where you discuss this if your relationship is starting to take off. I'm all about that. But in the beginning, how about we just take a moment to get to know who you are as a person? Can we be friends? Do we even like each other? How about we start there, and then we move to, are you in therapy? So therapy isn't a red flag for dating?
If they're not in therapy or if they ask about therapy?
I don't know. What do you think about both?
Well, if I hear, I don't really believe in therapy, for me, that's a red flag.
So is that a non-starter, though? Like, it's...
Yeah, that's where it starts and ends.
We're not even going to see where
No, because we all have to heal and grow, and we don't have the answers ourselves.
Well, you don't think some people can grow up healthy?
You can grow up healthy, but just like going to the doctor for your checkups physically, that's what therapy is about. Okay. We're always growing every day.
All right, so I passed the therapy question, then what's next?
Well, we can keep talking. Get to know each other.
What you like to eat and, give me some quick, help me, because I'm eventually get out there.
That is a part of the initial conversation, just getting to know you. And it doesn't mean like, if you're not in therapy, it's a hard no. It's, are you open to it? Because there may come a point in our relationship, so maybe we want to do therapy together. We may need to do that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we can. We got to learn how to communicate. We're still learning how to grow with each other. So it's important.
Yeah, so that's definitely a red flag. So if the person is not open or even thought about it. I had a friend who, comedian friend, very successful comedian friend. I tell this all the time. He's like, I said, therapy might work for you. He's like, therapy, that's for white people. And I was like, I was so perplexed by that because he really could, because I could tell he suffered from anxiety and he was paranoid about a lot of things, and he could just really use some help of trying to work some issues out. And there was some obsessiveness about things from women he was with, and he really could, because comedians are a lot of damaged individuals. That's why they're so funny, because the comedy is a defense mechanism. And I was like, he really could use some help, but he was just like, therapy is for white people. And I'm like, like that's a red flag right there too. And I'm like, I don't know. You're very funny at what you do, but I don't know if you're ever going to be in a successful, healthy relationship if you have that type of attitude, because that type of attitude is going to prevent you from growing. But then again, it may work well in your comedy career.
Yeah, I mean, that's another reason why, my nonprofit, we work to break the stigma regarding mental health in minority communities.
Maybe we need to have you guys pull up to the comedy clubs here in Los Angeles. All right, more of Late Night Love when we wrap things up when we come forward.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Late Night Love. My name is Don Amici with Successful Brim. Before we get out of here, one last clip from Muffy Bradshaw. She's a relationship coach for couples.
What are your couple boundaries? What boundaries have you set as a couple? Think about emotional boundaries, physical boundaries, financial boundaries, all of the boundaries that you can think of. List those things. If you don't know, this is a great time to sit with your partner, discuss these things, and come to a mutual, keyword mutual, agreement on what those boundaries should look like. Even think of different scenarios. Have the dialogue, have the discussion. A lot of times, this is not something that you can come up with on a whim or even in a night. This may take time. Just check in and make sure that you all are on the same page. Remember, boundaries create safety, they create trust, and they really do help cultivate a healthy relationship.
I love this whole new era of boundaries.
Right.
Even the new terminology. Like, nobody said anything about boundaries, 10, 20 years ago. And in relationship boundaries too, like we don't do that. We don't do that in this relationship, or we don't. You're not going to talk to my husband or wife this way, or we don't deal with that.
Just like our fake caller.
Yeah.
One thing about it though is what I learned, like even when doing therapy with my nonprofit. People talk about they didn't even set their own boundaries until they were an adult. Because, your parents set the boundaries for you. So you don't even realize, like, oh, what are my boundaries?
How do you know even when to set boundaries? That's another one. Like, how do you know that this is I guess if something is hurting you or you don't like it. But then, I don't know. I guess that's something you have to kind of work out in therapy of where your boundary begins and your giving ends, I guess, or loving ends.
Right.
And that's I guess a place you have to kind of figure out and get to where you and stick to it.
Exactly. It may be uncomfortable getting there, but once you learn it, at least moving forward, you have now gained some knowledge about yourself to help you progress as a person.
I always had a hard time telling people no. I always wanted to be a giver. I always wanted to be a doer. But there was a great book I wrote. I can't even think of the name of it, but I'll tell you next time it was on. But it was talking about people who love to please.
Right.
It was something along the
like people pleasing.
It was something like that. But it talked about pleasing, and a lot of it was trauma rooted in my childhood. But it was it talked about that. Wanting to always say yes, wanting to always do things for people, and that always led to me overextending myself and putting myself in situations that either cost me money, cost me time, or just get me in trouble all the time.
Right.
And I had to learn how to say no, which is very hard to do. And then telling people you love no.
Right.
Or telling friends no, or just telling, listen, I don't want to overcommit myself to things I can't really commit to.
Right.
You know, and so that's just it. So boundaries.
Right. It's a part of growing and healing and getting to know yourself and, falling in love with yourself.
Oh, we've got boundaries here. Well, that means that we got to be off the air in 1 minute. So.
That's true.
Listen, I want to shout out to your nonprofit Minority Psychology Network. Every week you guys have a drum circle and go to different events. This weekend you're going to be where? Or we're not?
Well, on Friday we'll be at Joe Guitar Doors, Capo Center in L.A. That's what Darius was just talking about.
All right. Listen, we here Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 Pacific Standard Time. And the QR codes are always going to be on the screen. The YouTube page is going to be up. We're going to be streaming live. And listen, we invite you to join the conversation. We appreciate you. The Listening Lounge is going to be up next. My name is Don Amici. This is the wonderful, successful Brim.
Yes.
And this has been Late Night Love right here on Fox Soul.
Good night.
Bye.
Welcome to Fox Soul's The Listening Lounge. I'm your host, Derica Abraham. This week, we're showcasing Jacinth Headlam's Love After, where she shares her personal journey of overcoming trauma and betrayal, offering practical strategies on how to find one's purpose. This motivational audiobook is meant to inspire you to embrace renewal